4, 5.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bob Foster. Welcome to Heart of the City. We have a very special guest here today. That's Dr. John Blake. And I have to tell you, he runs an organization that is essential to children's health in this city, the Children's Dental Clinic. And right behind me is their mobile van, but there's a clinic over here we're going to take a look at in a moment. But I want you to learn a little bit more about the clinic. First of all, Doctor, I know this clinic's been around for a long time. I think back in the 30s. Just tell us a little bit of the history.
Sure. Founded in 1932. We're the second oldest nonprofit in Long Beach, and we were founded by Dr. Robert Anderson. He basically saw the need. We're Depression era, earthquake hit in 33, and took a mobile van out and started helping treat children at the school sites. Back then it was around 5,000 students. Now we're up to 92,000, and we've carried that tradition all the way through and certainly grown from that original mobile clinic.
Well, I thank you for that. I have to tell you, a lot of people don't know, and I've learned recently myself, actually, that bad oral hygiene can contribute to a lot of health problems in adults and children. So I've heard of things like heart disease or brain problems or other organs being affected by starting with an infection or something bad in the oral cavity. So can you tell us a little bit about it? Because this is really important.
Sure, very true. And a lot of people don't realize that a child that may be a little cranky or is not sleeping well at night, a lot of times it is a dental abscess or some problem in their mouth. Left untreated, it can, as you mentioned, go systemic to the heart, to the brain. There was a recent case of a child died from a tooth infection and went to their brain. So it's critical. Being hospital-based, Miller Children's here, we see 1 to 3 patients a day come through the emergency room with a complaint of dental pain. And a lot of people don't realize that in our community, the first thing that happens is they have a trauma or an emergency. They go to the emergency room, and that's what we're kind of here to get.
Well, what I really want to make clear to everyone is, some people think that somehow, you go to a doctor if something's wrong with you physically, but they'll put off going to a dentist, or they'll put it up, think it's a lesser order problem. And I want to make clear it can be very serious. So seek treatment and help immediately. And I thank you for doing this. I have to tell you, you treat a lot of kids every year, and I know you treat kind of the underserved population. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. We serve the greater Long Beach area, and by that, this past year we saw 6,000 children that specifically live in Long Beach and 18,000 visits. But we've got our main clinic here, a satellite clinic in Bellflower, and over in Avalon, which is Long Beach Unified as well. Totally, we've treated 10,000 patients and 30,000 visits last year. So it's a huge program. It's comprehensive. We go from the simple cleaning all the way up to complex reconstruction, and that's, I guess, the advantage of being hospital-based as well.
And now you treat, I guess, kids up to 18 years of age. And what's the economic circumstance of most of your patients?
Mostly from low-income families. There's so many terms that get thrown around, but it's underserved or working poor, however you want to term it. Statistically, it's 200% below poverty level, federal poverty level. So it's families that are struggling, and they need a resource. We're a safety net. And so that's our patient base. And it also is patients that have some special medical considerations as well. By that I mean someone with Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, or certainly some of the cancers that happen and can be debilitating. We're here doing the dental portion to clear them so they can get healthy.
Well, I thank you, and I know this is a population that really needs the help, and I just want to make clear to everyone out there, this is something you have to take seriously. If you have a problem, anything to do with dentistry, you really have to seek help, and if you can't afford it, you should come to the Children's Dental Clinic. So I think that's really important to get across to people. I tell you what, why don't we take a look at the facility and see what you have?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, thanks, Doc.
We're in our specialty care area. This is a kind of special part of the clinic where our specialists work. And when I say specialists, it could be root canal specialists, it could be a periodontist, a gum specialist. Sometimes the oral surgeons will work in here as well. Today we have Dr. Bogan, who's an endodontist, a root canal specialist, working on some of our younger patients and more complex patients.
Well, we're back, and that was an amazing tour, Doc. I have to tell you, first of all, I did not know how extensive this facility is. You can do almost anything in there, and you've got a lot of great people working, and obviously helping out a lot of kids who don't look too happy to be there. I have to tell you that, but it is a necessity. And tell me a little bit. And that's a big operation. I think you told me it's over $4 million a year in the budget. How do you? And we have Josephine Fitzpatrick from the foundation. How do you handle the fundraising? I mean, obviously this is some government funding, but you have to get the community to help out. How can we help?
Well, you and the supervisor helped us out a lot in our 78th anniversary. We had an auction, and you and your wife were extremely helpful to us. We try not to over fundraise. We try to do something major every 2 years. We encourage our board to donate. Barbara and her staff are very, very helpful in getting foundation grants. So we're always out looking for money. So if you happen to know anybody that has any to spare, we would be very happy.
Well, you've got a bunch of people watching this. So if you were just an ordinary person in Long Beach, realizing how essential this is, I mean, this is about kids' health, people. So how would they, if they wanted to send a donation or get involved, how would they do that?
They can go to our website, which is cdhc.org, and there is a donate button there. Or they can call the dental clinic and tell us that they'd like to make a donation, and we'd be very, very happy to accept it.
So that's cdhc.org. clinic.org, and I like that idea about a donate button. I like that. That's pretty good. Or you can call the clinic directly. That's great. Doc, I want to tell you that this is, I know that you used to be in private practice, right? Now you do this full time, and I want to thank you for that. Did you find anything really different from private practice in this?
A lot more smiling, happy patients, and it's just been a great shift. At the end of the day, I really feel like we've accomplished something as a team here. So it's been a great and wonderful shift. So
you're doing great work here, and you're really helping out a lot of kids. And I want to thank both of you for everything you do. And it's a great operation. It's and we're one of the few communities in Southern California that has a dental clinic. And I think everybody underestimates how important it is to our overall health. You know that, and I know that, so it's important to get the word out. And just thank you all for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Keep up the good work, too.
Well,
appreciate it.
Well, we'll certainly try to do our part. You're doing most of it. Well, I want to thank you for joining us and visiting one of Long Beach's premier health organizations. Please get involved with the Children's Dental Clinic, and if you can help out financially. This is Mayor Bob Foster signing off for Heart of the City. Remember, LBTV, it's your city.